بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أما بعد. To continue in the study of تذكرة السامع والمتكلم of Ibn Jamaah rahimahullah. Today inshallah he mentions in this point that we'll take today, he rahimahullah he says that one should not be shy from asking a question regarding that which he is in need an answer of, or to understand that which he does not understand, and he should ask it softly and in a good way, with manners, and he should ask the question. Now this is an important chapter of asking the question and not being shy to ask about that which you are not aware of or that which may be problematic to you. He says that Umar radiallahu anhu said, "Man rakka wajhuhu rakka ilmuh," that the one who is basically shy to ask, his knowledge will become weak. The one who is shy to ask, his knowledge will become weak, because the reason for that is that the one who is shy, he will not ask about an affair which he does not have knowledge of, and he will not seek that knowledge from his teachers. So for that reason he loses much knowledge. He prevents himself from attaining much knowledge. And instead it's been said, as to this narration, Umar radiallahu anhu is weak, it is not authentic, and we'll come to know after that has been authentically reported from some of the Salaf. Then he says, rahimahullah, and it has been said that the one who is shy to ask regarding knowledge, his deficiency will be made apparent at the time of gathering with the men. What he intends by this is that once you gather with your companions or your friends to discuss knowledge, then at that time it will be shown that you have missed much knowledge due to not asking. You have been deprived or missed much knowledge due to you not asking about that, or your understanding might not be the best because of you not asking and not seeking more clarification. Then he says, Mujahid rahimahullah, he said that none will attain knowledge, that the one who is shy will not attain knowledge, nor the one who is arrogant. And this narration is authentic from Mujahid rahimahullah. Then he says, and the reason for that is because the one who is shy, his shyness prevents him from seeking knowledge or asking, and the one who is arrogant, his arrogance prevents him from seeking knowledge. He says, Aisha radiallahu anha said, "May Allah have mercy upon the women of the Ansar, for haya, shyness, did not prevent them from seeking knowledge of their religion. And this narration is reported in Sahih Muslim. He says, وقالت Sulaym Sulaym said to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَسْتَحْيِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ. Allah is not shy from the truth. Is it upon a woman to do ghusl if she sees a wet dream? Until the end of the hadith, where the Prophet advised her and said, yes, if she sees إِذَا هِيَ رَأَتِ الْمَاءِ, if she sees some form of wetness. As for shyness, then there's two types regarding when asking questions. One is a shyness which is dispraiseworthy, and that is a shyness that carries you upon not asking a question, or being shy to seek knowledge, or being shy to further your studies, because you're too shy from the teacher, or you're too shy to ask about that which you're in need of. The second type is a shyness which is praiseworthy, and that is that when you ask a question, you use the best of words and the best of terms, or the best of sentences, and like this. You ask about that which you're in need of, but you use wording and phrases which are the best phrases to use. Example, when asking about certain affairs which people might feel shy from, you don't use words and terms which are bad manners to present that kind of a question in front of the teacher. Example, you ask about marital relations, you don't use certain words that may seem disrespectful, or may seem as something of bad manners, or may entice the people and further their thoughts during that class about stuff that is not beneficial to them in that moment. So use wordings and phrases and terms which are the best of words and the best of terms to be used or phrases to be used. You don't utterly come and just say, Sheikh, what about such and such and such, and you openly discuss. And there are some of the scholars that some people have done this in their lessons, and from them, Sheikh Al-Uthaymin, if you listen to him often, certain questions that are asked with wordings that are not appropriate, you'll find that he says, I want to answer the question, as a rebuke for the one who's asking the question, this wording. Example, someone comes and says, I did such and such with a woman, and uses wordings that are not appropriate. And in that case, from rebuking him and is not answering his question. And you'll find that often for Shaykh Uthaymin and other scholars as well, when they're asked some of these questions and wordings that are not appropriate to be discussed in that class. Rather, when asked with wordings that are right and correct. For example, someone commits a sin, he does not ask directly, Shaykh, I committed such and such sin, what is the ruling? No, rather in a gathering like that, it's some good manners to ask in a third person, Shaykh, if someone so and so did such and such, what is his ruling? So it's important that, yes, asking questions is important, but it's also important to learn how to ask that question and how to present that question, and to not be from those who use wordings or phrases which are not appropriate. And he says some of the Arabs, they said that blindness is not the long question, but rather complete blindness is to be silent upon one's ignorance. And he says one should not ask regarding something in its wrong place except due to a need. Or if the teacher knows about it and he's okay with that, then you can ask. And if the teacher remains silent from answering your question, you should not continue to try to get an answer out of him. And if he makes a mistake in answering, you should not refute him or reply to him in that certain situation as has preceded. In that situation as preceded, rather you take different means. As for if you ask him a question and he does not reply, then as the scholars they mentioned, and has been authentic from Al-A'mash, that as-sukutu jawab, that silence at times is the answer. There's a reason why maybe the teacher remains silent. Does not always mean that the teacher remains silent regarding not answering a question. Does not always mean that the teacher does not know the answer or does not have knowledge regarding it. And this is a mistake many people they make. They ask a question to someone or to a teacher, and the teacher does not reply to him or remains silent due to a benefit which he may see in not replying to the specific question at that time. And he does this, and the student now thinks in his mind that the teacher is ignorant regarding the affair. No, it doesn't mean that, but rather as-sukutu jawab, that sometimes silence is the answer. Similarly, he says, not befitting for the student that he is shy from asking a question. As it is not befitting for a student to be shy in asking a question, it's similarly not befitting that he feels shy from saying that I did not understand if his teacher asks him. If a teacher asks him, is this class understood, is this point understood? It is not it's not suitable or appropriate for the student to say that I understood and I didn't understand. But rather, you should not feel shy from saying I did not understand. For that will make him lose a benefit, a quick benefit, and a benefit later on. As for the benefit at the specific time, then it is memorizing that specific affair. Is memorizing the specific affair. If he did not understand it, and he says to his teacher, I understood, then he would not really understand the affair if he just leaves it off. And he says also, the teacher thinking that he is truthful and pious and whatever, and other than that, and he says far from the benefit being lost in the long term, is him not being free from lying and a form of hypocrisy and not telling the truth. So it's important, if you do not understand something, the teacher asks you, did you understand? You don't say that, you don't feel shy from saying, I did not understand. And just merely say, I understand, just to not feel shy. Rather, you say, I did not understand, and the teacher will clarify to you further and explain to you the matter, and you'll benefit by that, one, telling the truth, and secondly, understanding the matter. If you did not understand it, and you said, yes, I understood, and you lied about it, then you have now lied, and you have also not really understood what the affair was. So now you've deprived yourself from knowledge which you have understood, if you had told the truth and you did not feel shy from saying that I did not understand. He says, قال الخليل, that Al-Khalil said that the level of ignorance is between feeling shy and arrogant. Between feeling shy and arrogant, it's important that as one does not feel shy from seeking knowledge, he does not also have arrogance. And these are two things, as we mentioned in narration Mujahid, that if you have these two characteristics, it's going to be hard for you to benefit from knowledge. He says, proceeded in the manners of the scholar that that he should not ask the one who is shy, did you understand? But rather he should reach to that knowledge by asking about different affairs. If you ask an example, if you ask him, he should not say, Na'am, I understood, until it's clarified to him the correct and clear meaning of what is being spoken about. So he does not miss out on understanding, and he is not from those who attain the sin of lying. Meaning, so that if your teacher asks you, did you understand? You should not say that I've understood until you clearly understand, so that you are not from those who are considered to be lying, and you do not deprive yourself from knowledge. Now we'll mention some narrations from the Salaf regarding this affair of not feeling shy to ask regarding that which you have no knowledge of, or that which is problematic to you. In the book Al-Urf Al-Wardi of Shaykh Al-Hajuri, of the checking of Muqaddima Sunnah Darimi, the introduction of Sunnah Darimi, in that introduction he mentioned a lot of benefits regarding knowledge and the different chapters of knowledge, and it is important a book to read, as the scholars mentioned. And in this book he has a chapter in which he mentions some narrations regarding not feeling shy but asking that which you have no knowledge of. And he mentions a narration from Abu Al-Aliya, or from Abu Al-Aliya. He says, قال سألت ابن عباس عن شيء. I asked Ibn Abbas regarding something, فقال يا أبا العالية, O Abu Al-Aliya, أتريد أن تكون مفتيا? Do you want to be from those who give fatwa? فقلت لا, I said no, ولكن لا آمن أن تذهبوا ونبقى. He said, but I do not feel safe from you dying and we remain. I do not feel safe from you dying and we remain. فقال صدق أبو العالية. He said, how truthful is Abu Al-Aliya. Then another narration he mentions here, قال كان عن إبراهيم, قال Ibrahim, when it's mentioned Jannah Ibrahim like this, is Ibrahim al-Nakha'i رحمه الله, قال كان عبيدة يأتي عبد الله, يأتي عبد الله, the Abid used to come to Abdullah Masud, كل خميس فيسأله عن أشياء غاب عنها. He would ask him on Thursday, he would come to him on Thursday and ask him things that which he missed. فكان عامة ما يحفظ عن عبد الله مما يسأله عبيدة عنه. A majority of that which was memorized from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud was mostly from that which Abida asked him on that day. It shows the importance of also asking regarding that which you didn't understand, or that which you may have missed, and the importance of asking a teacher for those around you may also benefit. The brother beside you may also be unaware of the answer or have not understood the matter correctly. So you're not feeling shy from answering. You have now caused more goodness. You are now a means to more goodness, in where the person beside you may also benefit. The individual beside you may also benefit, for he may have been shy to ask, and since you weren't shy to ask and you want to attain that knowledge, now both of you have benefited from the answer and from the further clarification. Then he says, عن سعيد بن يزيد قال سمعت إكرمة يقول ما لكم لا تسألوني أفلستم. He said, what is wrong with you for not asking me? أفلستم, you are the ones in loss for not asking me. Another narration, these are authentic narrations graded by Shaykh Yahya Al-Hajuri. Then he says, عن ابن شهاب قال العلم خزائن وتفتحها المسألة. He said knowledge is a خزائن, is knowledge is a treasure and is opened up by asking. Or knowledge is a safe, or that which you put stuff in, and وتفتح المسألة, and is opened up by the asking a question. Then he says, قال إبراهيم من رق وجهه رق علمه. And this narration mentioned is da'if, it is weak from Umar radiallahu anhu, but is authentically reported from Ibrahim al-Nakha'i rahimullah, that the one who is shy to ask questions, then he'll be the one who is shy to ask questions will become weak in his knowledge. Then another narration from Mujahid, as we mentioned, لا يتعلم من استحيا واستكبر, the one who is shy and arrogant will not learn. So these are some narrations that are mentioned from some of the Salaf rahimahumullah, regarding this topic of asking questions, showing us the importance of not feeling shy and rather asking regarding that which is problematic or that which you have not understood or that which you are in need of knowing. Then he says, point number 10, that he should pay attention to his time span given to him while reading. He should not proceed upon other than him without them being pleased with that. Meaning, if you are given a specific time to reach to the teacher, you follow that time. You do not proceed and you do not delay the right of someone else. Rather, you start at when your time is given and you end when your time is done. It says very important that a Ansari came to the Prophet ﷺ to ask him, and a man from Thaqif also came. So the Prophet said, Ya akha Thaqifin, O brother of Thaqif, Inna al-Ansari qad sabaqaka bil mas'ala. The Ansari has preceded you in asking. Fajlis, so sit, so that we could start bihajatil Ansari, with the need of the Ansari before your need. This narration, though, it is not authentic from the Prophet ﷺ, it is weak. He says, قال الخطيب من الخطيب البغدادي. It is recommended for the one who has preceded that he puts forth the one who is a visitor upon him. Why? To emphasize his sacredness and to honor him. And it is reported regarding that the two narrations, Ibn Abbas and Umar, showing here that the one who is a visitor or someone who may be a stranger comes into the class or comes in, you should precede him. So perhaps it may be a means of opening doors of benefit for him. وَكَذَلِكَ, he said, similarly, if there is a benefit for the one who came later on, a benefit or a need which is a must to be taken care of, and the one who came before knows about it, or the teacher indicates that he should be given precedence, then it is recommended that he gives precedence. He said if it's nothing as such, then it is disliked to give someone else his turn. Because it is reading of knowledge and rushing to it is a means of nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to put someone else forth in means of goodness or nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is disliked. It's not disliked in all cases, but it is something that one should not do often unless there's a need for it. Then he says that how do you proceed, or how do you have the first turn in regard to the sittings of the teacher? Is that you precede him to the sitting, or you precede him to the place where he's teaching, and that your right would not be dropped by you merely going to that which you're in need of relieving oneself or to renew one's wudu if he returns back after that. I mean, if you're the first one there, you have the first turn. And if you had to go you had to go relieve yourself, or you had to go redo your wudu and you were going to return, your turn is not lost. And this is from justice. This is from complete justice. Meaning, turn is not given merely on this individual is better and this individual is lesser in knowledge, or this one. Rather, the one who comes first is given his turn. The one who comes first is given his turn. And this is from justice, showing that we have justice even when we have in sittings of knowledge, and we do not give precedence based on he is my friend, or he is my relative, or he is my companion as such. Rather, in these situations of knowledge like this, the precedence is given to the one who comes first. And then he says, if two people come at the same time and they are not sure, or they start to argue regarding it, then they if two people come first and they start to argue regarding it, then in this case they do al-qara', which is basically picking lots to which one who wins. Al-qur'a, that to pick lots to see who wins, who will be the first one. So that way there is no argumentation that occurs between them after that. And then he says, Uma'id, and as we mentioned, Ma'id is the one who sits after the lesson and repeats the teacher's lesson to the students. He said if it is made a condition upon him that he reaches the people of that lesson at a specific time, then he should not proceed upon them, those strangers or visitors that have come without their permission. So in this case, whereas the one who's repeating the lesson, if he is going to repeat to students, that he does not put forth anyone before them unless they give permission to him. Then he says, point number 11, that he sits in front of the teacher based upon that which preceded of his detail, and that he must have manners, and in his appearance and his manners with the teacher. And he should bring his fourth, which he is going to read with him. And he should carry it by himself, and he should not place it at the time of reading upon the earth open. Rather, he should hold it in his hands and read from it. And he should not read until he seeks permission from the teacher. As mentioned by Khatib from a group of the Salaf, he says it is obligatory that you do not read until the teacher gives permission. Until the teacher gives you permission. And he says you should not read whilst the teacher's heart is occupied, or whilst he is stressed or angry, or he is hungry or thirsty, or he is tired, or he is feeling sleepy and other than this. And as I mentioned before, this has preceded, many of these points have preceded. Then he says, and if he sees the teacher about to start, or if he feels the teacher wants to stop, he should summarize. And he should not say to the teacher, should I summarize or stop soon? If that is not made apparent, then he commands him with stopping. Then the teacher commands him with stopping. And he should stop him wherever he commands him. And he should not increase. And this is a problem that many of us have. When he is told stop, he continues. When he is told stop, he wants to continue. And wants to further what he is reading. Rather, if the teacher tells you stop, you stop. And you do not continue. As a form of respect for the teacher. And you do not start unless he tells you to start. And you do not ask the question, example, unless he permits you to ask the question. Meaning, at times you find that the teacher is speaking and someone starts shouting in the back the question. And this is from bad manners. Rather indicate in a way to the teacher that you have a question to ask. If the teacher is okay with you asking, he will say ask. And if he gives a specific portion, it should not increase from that portion. And it should not, the student should not say to other than him as well to not go for so long. To not go for so long. And this is another problem that many students have. They say to someone else, don't go for long because I want to go for longer today. And that is wrong. Except by the permission of the teacher, or if the teacher permits that. So these are important points of studying with memorization, studying and asking and studying with your classmates or those who you're studying with, that everyone has rights. The teacher has his rights, you have your rights, and your classmates have rights. So everyone should be given their due right. Your teacher has rights with being honored and respected and listened to, and not being from those who are disrespected, but rather you respect him and honor him. You're not starting before he lets you, or stopping when he says stop, and other than this. And you as a student, if you come first, you have the right to speak, the right to start first. And as the classmates, you are not able to take from their time. Rather, you are given your specific time. It is honored and respected by your fellow classmates. And you also have to honor and respect their time as well. So inshallah we'll stop with this and continue next week. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.